Oh, God,
I don't know if I can do this.
So long. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
You're making me nervous. Well, I'm Kat.
I'm Hayley.
And this is a Night Classy, the podcast where two teachers unwind on a Tuesday, sip wine on a Tuesday, and each teach a lesson we can't teach at school. What are we drinking, Hayley?
Well, this fine Tuesday, we're going back to our roots, the Boda Box. We have a Pinot Noir, award-winning wines and eco-friendly portable packaging. We're not sponsored by them, so don't let my advertising tone
Don't let
deceive
the
you.
fact that it's a new box every week, like 2 liters of wine, confuse you.
Everything is not as it seems.
But it also is.
That's what we're drinking.
Yeah.
It also is.
We are drinking that. And I don't know if you heard, but it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I got the notification for an emergency recording of Night Classy on my phone that Alex sent to us. And at first I panicked because I saw emergency. But then I was like, oh yeah, okay. It's not an emergency, but we're pretty down to the wire with this
This is
one.
an emergency. This comes out in 2 days. So
A planned emergency.
yeah, so nothing can go wrong. We can't
will.
redo this. Not that we redo our episodes. God, that would be a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you.
You get what you get. And sometimes you throw a fit, and someone did this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first hater.
Our first hater.
We got a 1-star review.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually kind of exciting. Like it
Yeah.
hurt in the moment, like we said that it would.
Not gonna lie, it did hurt.
It did hurt. But we're better for it. Like
Yeah.
we're on our way to making it. You can't have all good things. Like not everything is going to be all good. And apparently we're in that category now.
Yeah. And now, now I have some Meg the Stallion energy about it. Like,
Fuck being good.
I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers
Trying to tell me how to live.
Don't tell me how to live. But yeah, so that was actually kind of exciting. I was in my feelings and now I'm not. We got the first one out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody cared. Like our podcast got on someone's radar enough for them to be like, you suck.
Yeah. It did get on their nerves enough because although they didn't write a review, they just gave us a star. They did tweet some mean things at us. And
Yeah.
that was a little bit sad.
I think that's a little bit of a cop out for them to give us a 1-star and not say why.
I mean, I'm just going to take
Yeah,
take
you know,
the
I'll
blessing.
take it. I think, yeah, that's a good perspective to have, but also...
But they definitely said why on Twitter and also told Alec he's a terrible producer.
Yeah,
so-
can I read one of the tweets?
yeah, please
So the guy who left a negative review, we're assuming is this guy that just went into us on
He
Twitter.
went in.
His name's Viagra dealer. And his tweet said, "It's terrible, ... You haven't caught on because you have a terrible producer." And listening was unbearable. If you want help, I would give free consultant advice.
I mean,
Right.
that's cheaper than what you are. So maybe we have a new producer.
Yeah.
He's Viagra dealer. I mean, I feel like to be a Viagra dealer, you have to have a prescription for Viagra, right?
Yeah. So, I mean,
So we know a lot about this guy
we all
already.
know about him. Yeah.
You know him.
You know. Everyone knows this man.
Yeah, he's an incel proud boy.
Yeah.
Named Viagra dealer.
Yeah.
You're the main character and he's some troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a 1-star
So,
from this guy.
Yeah. So good for us.
High five.
High five.
Yeah, and if you haven't left a rating or review, go on
No,
over to Apple.
we're not trying to beg for good reviews. That's not what this is.
No, but hey, if we get a couple more, it'll pump us back up from 4.9.
Right. Yeah, if you hear that we
Yeah.
got a 1-star and you're like, what the hell? What the hell? And
What the hell? That's how all our listeners talk, by the way.
yeah. We did a survey. We had everyone say what the hell expressively. And that was the mean.
Yeah. What the hell?
What the hell? So if that's how you feel, yeah, actually do give us a review.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. But I'm not telling you. Leave an honest review. Tell us what you really think. I don't want anyone to lie.
I'm not gonna lie. Lie.
No, tell us how you really feel. Just like
Just on Twitter. Don't comment if it's bad. Just tweet us if it's bad. Comment in your rating if it's good.
DM us some constructive criticism on Instagram, or better yet, take our listener survey. We still have that link in our link tree.
Ooh, you know what? Even better yet, if it's either good or bad review, send it to us on a cake.
Oh,
Yeah, send it to us on a cake. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, send us stuff.
Yeah, Parasaur Studios. Look it up.
We'll give you our address.
Yeah.
We are not trying to hide that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fapping in the wind. That is a reference to the last
1-800.
episode's title, by the way.
Okay. Well, I also have a surprise
What? For me?
for you. I bought us a present.
Oh my God.
You want to guess what it is?
Oh God. Is it a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Tommy was talking about it in the car, and I was like, stop, because I haven't told him. And he was like, yeah, you guys really need to buy a Ouija board. And I was so scared you were going to go on
What if I did it right then?
Amazon app right then.
And I was like, you're right. I have this credit, so I'll just get it right now.
Yeah. And I've never felt the wish, the desire to know another language so bad so I could
You just
communicate with him without you knowing.
You unravel your shoelace and start choking him while he's driving from the back seat.
Yeah, Tommy drove us to the studio, and he was in the car, he was like, you know what you guys should really get?
And that was the most random thing. He wants us to get the Ouija board, but he's him and Alec are the wettest blankets of them all.
Yeah.
And they don't believe in any of this stuff. But I'm like, why are you advocating so hard for us to get this?
It's because of what you said, that he's the person who would start moving it around.
Yeah.
He is that person. He's not allowed to play.
And I know that because that's what he said. He's like, there's got to be someone to move the, what's it called? Amulet?
The planchette.
The planchette. What's an amulet?
Something you
Is
wear
that a
around your neck.
Whatever. Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, there's got to be someone to move it. And I was like, yeah, the ghost. He's like, mm-mm. So that's something we hard disagree on. There's no joining forces for that.
I mean, maybe all it has to do is shoot across the room while we're doing it, and then he'll be a believer.
Right. And then the wall crumbles down and he believes everything now.
Yeah. So if you're a Patreon, I think, have we talked about this? We can edit out if we didn't, but maybe possibly on Halloween, we can play with our EMF detector and maybe put the video on Patreon, maybe put a little sneak peek on Instagram Live. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that could be really fun. We've got our creepy attic.
Yeah. And we have nothing else to do on Halloween. Everything's closed. So we can party in our attic with the Ouija board.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I know.
Oh my God, I'm really
glad.
glad.
It's supposed to be here. I really wanted to buy the one I had when I was a kid, but they stopped making it in 2004.
Wow.
And
old much?
I know. Don't say that. But they had them, but they were used. And I was like, I don't know if I want a used Ouija board.
Ooh, no, we don't. I'm really glad that you didn't get a used one.
Yeah.
I love to use things, and thrift shopping is my favorite thing ever.
I mean, if I saw a Ouija board in a thrift shop, I would definitely buy it. But I don't know.
High
It'd have to be worth
chances
it.
of a haunting.
Yeah. I mean, high chances anyway, because we're about to do a Ouija board in our already haunted house.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Kelly. She's our roommate.
We just won't tell her. No, she listens. She'll know.
Yeah, she'll know.
Sorry, Kelly.
Sorry.
We'll use a lot of sage afterward. Alec and we like to light sage in our room, and one time we just light it and then leave it on, and then our room smells like horrible campfire for 3 days.
Oh my God.
But our room is clean from ghosts. There have been no ghosts in our room.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But the kitchen, there's the whistling ghost.
Didn't the ghost whistle a day after we burned sage?
Yeah, but it was in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't come in our room.
Yeah. You just start cooking with sage a lot for the next week after.
I just start eating it.
We just feed the cats sage. We just convert to all things sage.
We make them little skirts out of sage, and that would be so cute.
Vegan, I don't know her. I practice sageism.
It's my religion.
It's my religion, diet, and everything else.
Yeah.
Etc. You don't have to name 3 things.
No, you do.
If you don't have a third thing, it's okay. That's from one of Tommy's sketches.
Oh, okay.
So I have to
didn't get it.
Yeah. Never
Shout
mind.
out
Shout out to my
comedian
boyfriend.
Tommy Oler. Speaking Speaking of shout outs, I have another shout out. My mom was recently in an indie horror film and she had a pretty big part. I told you about this.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. She was in this film called They Reach. Like this was like they filmed it like 18 months ago and it's now out on DVD.
Oh my God.
It was released on streaming in Europe, but it's now on DVD. So you can buy the DVD as of November 3rd. At Walmart, Barnes and Noble, or you can pre-order it on Amazon and it's only $10. So
wow, so we're getting it, right?
Well, we don't have a DVD player and I don't know where you can stream it. I asked her and she doesn't know.
Oh.
But I guess we could buy a DVD player and use it once.
I'm sure we could just walk into Goodwill and the DVD players will be like, please buy me.
That's true. That's a good point. Also, do you remember when you could rent a DVD player from Blockbuster?
No.
I'm pretty sure you could used to do that.
Oh.
Maybe
you
remember
renting movies from Blockbuster.
We never rented a DVD player, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them there.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Isn't that so weird that something that was so a part of our childhood and the growing up is like non-existent now? DVDs, like we don't even have something to pop it into.
What the fuck is a DVD?
I don't know. What is the future also? That's what I'm wondering.
Also, why are we so old and why are we talking about this? I hate it. But yeah, Buy My Mom's Movie. It sounds really cool. It's kind of like Stranger Things-esque, but it was it was like written before Stranger Things, so they didn't copy it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. That's an important detail.
Yeah.
It's an important creepy detail.
Yes, it is a creepy detail. Another plug. We are recording an episode on Saturday for Patreon with Dr. Cameron Ogg, and she's going to teach us about an animal. I won't say which animal, but I'm excited. She's a neuroscientist and knows a lot about stuff.
The coolest.
Yeah.
Like she knows so many things and she's not like your typical like neuro like scientist type person. Like you think they're going to be like really dry or like cold or things like that. Like,
not at all.
God, she's so fun.
And we're going to get her drunk. Like,
oh yes, we
big
are.
time. She's Alex's sister and she's going to kill it.
It's going down.
Yeah, it's going down. We're going to like feed her a box of wine and then make her teach us stuff. It's going to be so fun.
Right. And then we're going to also try to learn because we're also participating. Yeah. Of course.
Definitely. And it's
usual.
Saturday. So you know what? Like I'm going in. And for Patreon episodes, I feel like our Patreons, we don't have to impress them as much and we can get a little drunker and say more stupid stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's more fun. Mm-hmm. That's us like
you get the real picture. Also, I don't think they're edited quite as much.
Yeah, there's going to be no question as to if we drink or not for the Patreon episode. So
yeah, people always ask us like if we really get drunk. It's like yes. We should do an episode where we're sober so that people can tell the difference. I wouldn't want to listen to that.
I wouldn't want to either.
I also wouldn't want to do it.
Me. I don't want to do anything sober. Just kidding. That's
bad.
Really
that's alcoholism.
Yeah. But actually to prove that we do drink.
Yes. Wait, we can't do a breathalyzer yet. We have a couple new patrons.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So first I want to shout out Dicey Adams of Boise, Idaho. And first of all, Dicey is like the coolest fucking name I've ever heard.
The coolest name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to you for having a sick ass name.
A sick ass name. And not only does she have a sick ass name, she has a master's and PhD in astrophysics. And she's a green witch. So she's a doctor and a witch.
Okay, so she needs to be a guest for one of our Patreon episodes.
Yeah. And she's from the Pacific Northwest.
What's a green witch?
I don't know. I think it's like witches that, I mean, I really don't know, but my vague understanding is that it's like more natural witches that like make
have green skin,
like garden and make stuff with herbs and shit.
It's like the levels of karate.
Yeah. Dicey can tell us when she comes on at Patreon and does a lesson on green witch.
Yeah, that would be so freaking cool.
That'd be really cool. Dicey, let us know if you want to do that.
Thank you, Dicey. We love you. I also have a Patreon shout out. Not I, we.
Haley's like, I got one.
I'm gonna top you with no, just kidding. But we do have another Patreon. So Margaret Sherfy from Dorsey, Illinois. She chose such a cool topic. I know we're not supposed to know what we're gonna do. Kat is doing this one, but like I'm so excited to hear about it.
I'm so fucking excited. And this is one that like I've heard about on other podcasts. So I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Like it's been done, but I want to do it so bad. And so she recommended it and I'm like, fuck yeah, like I can do it.
It's a sign from the universe.
It is. And Hayley, I told Hayley about it and she doesn't know what it is. So I get to actually teach someone about this who doesn't know what it is.
My excitement is not false. It sounds interesting. Once you hear the topic, I'm not just blindly being like, woo.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good plug for Patreon. So if you want to choose a topic or get a shout out or get any other of the cool things on Patreon, head to patreon.com/nightclassy or click the link that will be in the show notes and on all our social media and become a Patreon.
Oh yeah, we're doing the most on Patreon, so yes, head over there. Also, I want to shout out Margaret as well. She got like all geared up with our night classy gear.
Yeah,
she got the sticker. She got the hose for science shirt, which is again super cute. I'm wearing it right now while we're recording. It's very pink, very fun, and I realized that it sounds like we're like making up this fake person to like plug ourselves, but I promise Margaret is real.
She's real. And obviously Dicey's real. I mean, who could make up a name like Dicey?
No one. I mean, her mom, but
yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't know.
We should have her mom on too.
Yeah, just have the whole family. We'll have Thanksgiving here on Patreon.
Right. We're inviting ourselves.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. My heart is so warm right now.
I know it's been so fun for all the 1-star haters.
Yeah,
just kidding. But actually, it feels really good to have people support Night Classy.
It does. Thank you guys. So now we can do the breathalyzer. I blew a 0.135.
I blew a 0.134.
So I just barely get to go first.
Barely.
And I was honestly kind of hoping I wouldn't have to go first because I'm like nervous for this one. It's a really cool topic and I want to do it justice.
Okay.
But here we go. Let me set the scene. Our story starts in July of 2015. Obama is president. I'm a little baby getting ready to start college.
Oh, I was picturing an actual baby.
No, unfortunately, I was not a baby. I was 18.
I'm an infant, genius infant, off to college.
I skipped a few grades.
All the grades.
All of them. Drake released his hit single, Hotline Bling.
Wow.
It was a simpler time.
The Weeknd
released his album.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm nostalgic.
It was really a stretch to try to find something in July of 2015. I was like,
okay.
It could just be 2015. But anyway, also, the United States reopened their embassy in Cuba after it had been closed since 1961. So we were excited. Americans were excited they could get good cigars. Diplomats and their families moved to Havana. They were happy to be there. It all seemed great.
Oh my God. Can I tell a quick tangent story?
Yeah.
It's very quick. One time we were in Costa Rica and I was a freshman. My brother was like 15 or so. And we were in Costa Rica with my aunt and my uncle and my mom. And my brother bought a Cuban cigar and was just like smoking it on the street in the market. And my ex-aunt, I guess now, she was like repulsed by this. She like couldn't believe a 15-year-old was smoking a Cuban cigar.
Okay, to be fair, my mom would have torn my head off if I was 15 and smoked a cigar.
Yeah, my mom was there though, and she was fine with it. But then my ex-aunt was like, put that out right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of on your aunt's side. I'm not trying to tell 15-year-olds right now to smoke cigars.
Yeah, I feel that. But also, like, when else are you going to get the opportunity to get a legit Cuban cigar?
I mean, maybe I'm spoiled, but Canada is right across the border from me, so we never had
so you
Cuban
are
cigar shortage.
Either way, it was just funny imagining my like freshly 15-year-old brother walking down the street with a fat ass cigar.
That is a picture.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
as teachers, I don't think we should be encouraging that, but
I'm just saying it's funny. I'm not encouraging.
Okay. So things were good until 2016, where some of them began experiencing something highly disturbing. Almost as disturbing as a 15-year-old smoking a cigar.
Oh, so disturbing.
And in the coming weeks, 21 American diplomats would visit the medical center. Most of them, I think, went to Florida to report their strange, unexplained symptoms.
Ooh.
These individuals report hearing novel and localized sounds that they describe as buzzing, grinding metal, piercing squeals, and humming.
Ew. Is it a bug in their ear?
Maybe.
Is it sirens?
It might be.
Of the ocean?
We don't know.
Okay.
These sounds only occurred in their homes and hotel rooms. So it's not like they had this ringing in their head. They would happen to them in their homes. And they were directional and intensely loud. And they were, quote, with pure and sustained tonality. So they would hear these sounds. They knew what direction they were coming from, but they didn't know where they were coming from. And they were so loud. Some people heard more than a sound. It was like described as pressure-like or vibratory stimuli. So kind of like when you're in a car and like one of the windows is cracked and it's like, bop, 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 bop. Yeah, like it felt like vibrations in the air.
That's something.
I mean, that's what
that'll
a
make you
sound
go
is,
crazy.
Yeah, and it did. So the sound was blood-curdlingly loud, but plugging their ears and covering their heads made no difference. However, when they changed location, even just a little bit, like to a different part of their house, the sound went away.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. And it occurred for different lengths of time. The lowest recorded one was just 2 10-second pulses. Other times it can last over an hour, just being blasted with this sound in their home. And 95% of people who reported hearing this sound also had other symptoms. So some of these symptoms were headaches, ear pain, and long-term hearing changes. So they'd hear this sound and then for like weeks afterward, they'd have these symptoms, which is why they were ending up in the hospital. They'd also have memory problems, impaired concentration, irritability, nervousness, feeling more emotional, and sadness, like symptoms of depression, all brought on from these sounds.
They got their period.
Maybe. I think you solved it. And so
they're just emotional because it's their time of the month. Clearly.
Yeah.
They linked it, their menstrual cycles linked up with Cuba.
Cuba just has a really strong moon current.
Alpha Cuba.
Yeah, Alpha Cuba.
We always knew it was an alpha.
Yeah, but like these symptoms were real, and for a lot of these people, like their work performance shifted, and like it was noted and documented by supervisors and colleagues.
Do you know how many people were affected by this?
21 Americans and I think 8 Canadians.
Whoa, Canadians in Canada or in America?
Cuba. So
Cuba.
Canadian diplomats in Cuba.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So this all happened in Cuba. We're still in Cuba.
Oh, okay. For some reason you said like Florida or something.
They went because they were in Havana. So like Florida is just like a
Right
really
there.
quick plane ride.
Okay.
So they went to an American hospital. They had other physical symptoms like nausea, dizziness, general balance problems. Patients started having problems with their eyesight. They reported sensitivity to light, difficulty reading, and eye strain. And like I read the full medical like report on this, and like the symptoms really don't stop. Like they go on and on and on. But the most disturbing of all was probably the phantom sounds that preceded them, because everyone who heard this crazy sound started getting all these crazy symptoms, and medical experts were stumped. Nobody knew what to tell them.
They're like, just go home and take an ibuprofen.
That's pretty much what it was. Like
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what
I
they
mean,
do.
what else are they going to do? So
Get to the root cause of it.
they gave them, I don't know if it would be a CAT scan or MRI, but they'd scan their brain, and none of them did they have any blunt head trauma, any history of being hit in the head, no damage to the frontal lobe. Like all of these things would be expected with the symptoms they're suffering, but their brains looked fine. They had good brains.
Good brains.
Good brains.
Big brains.
Big brain. They probably had big brains. They were diplomats.
They definitely have big brains.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the patients did receive physical therapy, like for their balance problems. But other than that, yeah, doctors didn't know what to do. It was a mystery. Nobody knew what was wrong.
What happened?
Do you have any guesses?
I'm going to stick with my first thing. I don't know, something about a bug in the ear, but I feel like that's not really relevant to opening borders.
I mean,
like, does that relate to it?
So
it's related to the borders opening.
There is one theory about really loud cicadas. So like you might.
Oh my God. That's like me last year when I moved to Memphis. I was like, do you hear that train? And you're like, that's cicadas.
No, it was the reverse. I thought that it was the electrical wires.
Why did, wow.
I don't know why you made yourself the stupid one. You told me it was cicadas.
Wow. Okay. But I feel, I must have asked Cece then.
Okay.
And she told me and then I told you.
Yeah. And you never told me that
Wow.
Cece told you. You made me feel stupid.
I feel like, there must have been something. Maybe it was a train or something that actually did here. I don't know. I've been drinking. I don't know what's happening to me. But yeah, that did happen.
It happened to me. The cicadas in Memphis are so loud. It sounded like an alarm. I thought like a thunderstorm alarm was going off every day.
Yeah, it does, because they'll like ring up and get like to a higher volume all at the same time and then go down.
Yeah, they're like like it sounds like an alarm. I didn't know what was happening. But yeah, that's one of the
funny.
theories.
Oh, throwback. Okay.
Throwback TBT. But in any case, the United States blamed Cuba. They assumed they were behind it. The State Department filed diplomatic protests, but the Cuban government denied like any responsibility. They're like, how could we make these people like hear something crazy and like cause this? What?
The U.S. government is like, you did it. Tell us how.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, pretty much. We'll get there. And so Cuba just denied responsibility, and the symptoms and the noises continued. Nothing changed. By May, the FBI opened an investigation and sent FBI agents to Havana.
Oh, to be that FBI agent. My God.
To investigate the cicadas.
Yeah.
And so, but unfortunately, they were only there for 2 months. And so by August, the episodes had stopped and the FBI still didn't have answers.
And it's just in July. You said it's very specifically July 25th.
Well, it started in July and it went until May.
What?
Yeah, so it went like a full year.
Oh, okay.
So it started in July and then they sent August. Wait. What? Oh, okay. So they went for a year and then the FBI opened an investigation in May. And then from May to August, they stopped. Yes.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, we have arrived at reality.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, the FBI was only there for a little bit. They didn't have time to gather evidence and the episode stopped. So without answers, in September of 2017, half of the American diplomatic personnel in Cuba were ordered home. So they're like, this isn't really safe. We don't know what's going on. They ordered them home. Also, Trump was in charge then and wasn't a fan of the deal with Cuba. So maybe this had something to do with it.
Okay.
And in January of 2018, the Senate held an open hearing on the Cuba crisis, as they call it. And once again, no real explanation was offered. They just kind of heard what happened. And that was that. So we still don't know what happened.
What?
But there are a few theories.
Oh my God. I feel like I would just edged.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah,
please tell me
we don't
the
have
theories.
My theory, when Alec was explaining, because Alec gave me this topic and he was explaining it to me and I was like, ghosts? It's not
gotta
ghosts.
be ghosts.
And it's also cicadas were another theory, but it's probably not cicadas. Sonic weapons was a theory. So basically the idea that maybe they were blasting them with sonic weapons. But,
why?
I don't know. We'll kind of talk about it. But I want to talk about the main theory, which is microwaves. And or more specifically, high intensity beams of microwaves.
Oh my God, this is so funny. I did a project on the guy who invented microwaves in 6th grade.
What was his name?
Yeah.
Or her
God.
name?
I don't remember.
It
was a man, but the way he discovered it was he was at a science fair with, what was the name of the woman who invented X-rays? What the fuck was her name?
Madame Curie.
Yeah. So he walked by Madame Curie's booth or whatever it was at this adult science fair basically, and he had a Hershey bar in his pocket.
Oh yeah, and it melted.
I
think you've told me this before. Sorry to ruin your punchline.
You're fine. That's what it was. Yeah.
I think you taught me that.
Yeah. So then I did my thing on him. Yeah.
That's cool. Well,
I don't remember much,
right,
so
full circle.
It was full circle, exactly the same story.
Yeah, I mean it kind of is. So we do know that microwave beams can be fired so that they can hit only their intended target. And they actually can cause symptoms like loud noises, headaches, nausea, and vertigo. So a lot of the symptoms that the diplomats were suffering from. And after this theory emerged, ProPublica reported that the wife of an embassy staffer had seen a van speeding away from her home, like shortly after hearing this. So the idea is that maybe a dish antenna of microwaves could have fit in the van and they could have been like blasting people with it from the street.
Why though?
So why? That's a good question. Why? Was it Cuba? People weren't sure why Cuba would do this because a relationship with the U.S. was like something they were excited about. And this would also have to be an extremely high-tech weapon. The United States did not have the technology to do this, at least that we know of. It was like where and why. And so it's thought that, I mean, let's just blame it on Russia. So... So maybe Russia was involved. And the reason people think this is because in 2012, Vladimir Putin declared Russia would pursue, quote, new instruments for achieving political and strategical goals that he outwardly said would include psychophysiological weapons, which he also said include microwave rays.
My jaw is on the floor. That's why I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. And then in 2014, Putin also canceled $30 million of Cuban debt. And I'm like, hey, Putin, like, do you want to pay some of my debt? Yeah. And
Daddy Putin.
Daddy Putin. Daddy Poot. And he also signed dozens of accords with Cuba, or a dozen. I exaggerate a little bit. A dozen accords with Cuba.
A baker's dozen or Putin's dozen?
A Putin dozen. And he solidified an alliance with Cuba. Later, a Russian spy ship was seen docked in Havana the night before the beginning of reconciliation talks between Cuba and the U.S. And by 2016, Moscow and Havana had signed a pact of defense and technology cooperation.
And 3 years later, hit artist, name unknown to me in this moment, wrote the hit song, Havana, Ooh Na Na.
Great song.
What was her name, though? I don't know.
I don't know.
It was 2018. I know that for sure.
It was a great song.
It was great. Is great to this day.
And yeah, also like the US didn't even have this type of technology in Cuba, like a small country, like we're like, how could they have developed this on their own? People don't really think they could have. So the main theory is that Russia was jealous of the new BFF ship between the US and Cuba. And so they decided to go out and blast US diplomats with these microwaves to make them go home.
Oh my goodness.
There's no evidence that this is true, but
Russia.
This is the theory.
All you have to do is be warm and beautiful and not cold and stark. Just be different.
I mean, they have great vodka. We talked about that last week.
They do.
I mean, that makes me like them.
I mean, I thought it was from Portland, so
it's also from Portland.
If you don't understand that inside joke, then go back and listen to the previous episode, number 31.
Also, people think maybe it was Russia and Cuba working together. Why? We don't know.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Gosh,
they're so mean.
I know.
Cuba and Russia, I mean, Kat and Hayley.
Yeah. Who's the U.S.?
Who's the Kelly?
Oh, no.
No, we're not mean to Kelly. We're not mean to anybody, except for people that give us 1-star reviews. And so people didn't just pull this microwave theory out of their ass. The U.S. has actually had a long history of studying the effects of microwave rays for weapons. So
weapons and hot pockets.
And hot pockets. Yes, they do both.
The U.S. is best at.
The two things that most of our budget goes to from good old taxpayer money. Send it straight to weapons and hot pockets. Okay. So back in 1960, a biologist named Frey was working for General Electric's Advanced Electronics Center at Cornell University.
That was a lot of words. Not going to lie. That was a lot of words.
General Electric Advanced Electronics Center at Cornell University. Yes, it is a lot of words. And I said them all.
Good job. You read them too.
I did.
Not only did you say them, but you read them.
Thank you for noticing. I know how to read.
She can read. She does it well.
I do it so well, you guys. And so there, he actually found out that humans could, quote unquote, hear microwaves, or at least they could perceive them as sound when they were hit by microwaves. And they weren't actually hearing them. Even deaf people could hear this sound.
I'm just picturing somebody walking on the street, a van pulls up and they throw like a legit kitchen appliance microwave at them, like they can feel the okay, I'm sorry, okay. My imagination.
That would be crazy.
As if this topic we're talking about right now is not crazy. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if somebody threw a microwave at someone.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, I'm derailing this completely.
But like to derail it again, it kind of made me think about when I was hearing the ghost whistling, and when I was listening to that, like it sounded partly like external and then partly in my head, and I was like, what if like that's how ghosts make noise? It's like not actual sound, but it's like with some kind of like microwave ray. And then also like you've heard all the like UFO abduction stories where aliens communicate with you when you're abducted by like telepathically.
Yeah.
What if they do something like this?
Yeah, just like radio waves. Mm-hmm. They're just vibrating at the frequency of whatever you're at.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did we just solve everything?
I think we're scientists.
Where's my PhD?
I'm not sure. But
Johns Hopkins?
Cornell University?
Harvard? Yale?
Excuse me?
WYA? Because I'm ready.
I think we earned it.
Wow. So smart.
So smart.
We're hosts for science.
Yes, we are.
Get the t-shirt.
Get the t-shirt.
Anyway.
Give us a PhD. So even...
give me the PhD.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
God, I'm so sorry. So like I said, even deaf people could hear the sound. And so... we don't know what's happening. We know microwaves can make people hear sound. So Frey studied it. He wrote his paper, and in his paper, he reported that the power density is 160 times lower than the standard maximum safe level for continuous exposure could induce sonic delusion. So basically what that's saying is that very low frequencies of like microwave waves can like make you hear like auditory hallucinations.
Just a touch.
Like you don't need that much is what he's saying.
Yeah.
And this effect was named the microwave auditory effect or radio frequency hearing. And the United States and Soviet Russia were both very interested. They're like, how can we make this a weapon? And for a while, the United States even hoped that they could encode language into the rays and send people messages telepathically, just like aliens. And the belief is that if we could hear a buzz or a screech, like somehow we could figure out how to send words. And they got kind of close. They got people to hear like kind of like jumbled up mess that like if you're told you're hearing words, you might say you hear words. But
like earlier today, we were talking on Ghost Adventures. Yeah. They heard the ghost say Michael, but really it was rah, rah.
like EVPs essentially. Yeah. And so
sorry, go ahead.
And so as far as we know, as far as the public knows, they didn't get very far. It's not yet possible. As far as we know. And as for weaponry, the US and Russia hoped they could also use these microwaves to produce sounds loud enough to cause pain, discomfort, and paralyze victims, but it would just be in their head so it wouldn't harm or injure them.
Why are the government?
Yeah. Why is it that like, okay, it might be possible to communicate telepathically and then our first impulse is to make a weapon.
Make it a weapon. Also, so many schools are underfunded. Can we just like put the first things first?
Yeah, wait until we get into how they actually did make some of this into a weapon. And like, I don't know how expensive it is. I didn't see it, but like, it's just unreal. The U.S. Navy began experimenting with microwaves in 1970s and started attempting to produce extreme sound without causing physical harm. However, they couldn't figure out a way to create this illusion without causing a sensation of intense heat. So we can hear very soft noises without feeling the heat, but if they make the noise really loud, you feel like you're burning. And but they did end up creating an electromagnetic weapon called the active denial system, which sends pulses of heat at a victim from a distance. So they can bake you with microwaves.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's real mean. And when this weapon was fired at victims, they feel like a crazy heat, like being sprayed with scalding water or blasted with a hot oven. But
oh my gosh.
the thing, like, it doesn't actually do physical damage.
They're targeting all women over 50 years old.
What? Oh,
Heat
menopause.
flashes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Maybe we should edit that.
So the intent was that like this weapon could dispel crowds and keep people out of military perimeters. So they did build this fucking weapon and send it to Afghanistan. And we actually have a video clip of a 60 Minutes reporter testing it out. So they were letting people go for this 60 Minutes episode. They were letting people just come up and like get sprayed with these microwaves.
Oh my God. That's like when you want to be a police officer and they like make you get tased and then you're a police officer. They're like, you are now a microwave.
No, they tase you with a taser and they're like, this is all it takes. Here's your gun.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Go shoot some people.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Some people claim they've been able to stand in the beam for 4 or 5 seconds. So how long can I take the heat? Here goes.
You tell me.
Engage.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1.
Wow.
1,002, 1,003.
That was also not 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be more like 1,000, 2 1,000, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, he was under intense heat. And so
He was heated up.
he was heated up like a hot pocket.
He's in a passionate fire with microwaves. He's a hot pocket.
He's a hot pocket. He was also behind a mattress, so he kind of looked like a hot pocket.
Be the hot pocket.
Feel the hot pocket.
Taste the hot pocket.
Eat the hot pocket. Okay. So, yeah, they made that weapon and they put it into war in Afghanistan in 2010. But like it failed miserably after spending probably millions of dollars on it because the victim could just kind of step away from the beam.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
not trying to victim blame here or anything, but
I mean, unless the U.S. military is a
step away.
victim, we're not. And so the equipment was bulky, expensive, and hard to repair. So it just was not cost effective. It didn't do a whole lot. And they're like, okay, this isn't worth it. But that's all to say that it's not that we know of possible to make people hear these loud noises without also feeling super hot. Like nothing that like at least is released to the public could have like caused damage to the degree that the embassy workers felt without like also blasting them with heat, and none of them reported feeling hot.
okay.
So this might be down the drain, but the possibility of unknown technology still remains because like as of 2020, we're still making progress using microwave rays. In April of 2020, the U.S. Air Force deployed a microwave weapon called the phaser to Afghanistan to protect U.S. air bases from the threat of drone strikes. And there haven't been any drone strikes yet, but they say that there will be. So they made this fancy weapon. And according to popularmechanics.com, quote, phaser is a high-powered microwave cannon that emits radio frequencies in a conical beam. It doesn't cook the drone with heat, but instead the weapon disrupts and destroys the circuits with a burst of overwhelming energy. And just one burst is enough to drop the drone to the ground. So this one doesn't create heat, but it does like fuck it up.
So perhaps that's what they were fucking up the expats with, and
yeah, perhaps it was just technology that like we didn't know about yet.
Okay,
but ultimately we don't know. That's just one theory. There are other theories out there on the internet. That one was the most compelling to me. Was it ghosts? Was it aliens? Was it some other high-tech weapon? Was it loud cicadas? We don't know.
so weird. Oh my god,
Yeah, it's a mystery. What we do know, though, is I'm about to get aggressive. The active denial system came up recently as a way to control Black Lives Matter protesters in Washington, D.C. and around the country. Police stations requested that they send them this military-grade weaponry to blast protesters with loud noise and heat to dispel them. peaceful protesters. Obviously, this is extremely fucked up. This equipment is so expensive. And if we just used that money into social services or anything useful, that would be a way better solution than using military weaponry against peaceful protesters.
Right. Instead of being like, I don't like what you're saying, or I feel threatened or feel differently about what you're saying in some sort of way, so I'm just going to silence you.
Yeah. It's extremely fucked up. And luckily, like, they didn't get what they asked for, but the fact that they even thought they could ask for it is like beyond my patience level. Like, I'm getting heated.
Defund the police.
Defund the police.
That does not mean take away all funds.
Yeah.
That means take away militarized weaponry that the police don't need.
Don't need even a little bit. Not even for a second.
And you know, if you don't want to defund the police, why don't we allocate that money to a different part of the police system so that they can get trained on any social situations
Maybe
they may
give some
interact
money
with.
to social workers, or give some
Even
money
better,
to healthcare, or give some money to affordable housing. They teach you when you become a teacher that, like, preventative discipline. Like, you intervene before it becomes a problem. You intervene and, like, nurture the child and talk to the parent and provide services before they explode and trash your classroom because they're angry.
Proactive is better than reactive every single time, because reactive is reacting to that moment present in time. Proactive is setting up a situation for whatever is going on to do better in the future.
Exactly. On that note,
you just got me heated.
I'm sorry. That is the 2015 mystery of the American embassy in Cuba. And I need to cite my sources really quickly. So I have the New York Times. The article is called "Microwave Weapons Are Prime Suspect in Ills of U.S. Embassy Workers" by William J. Broad, CFR.org. A medical study called "Neurological Manifestations Among U.S. Government Personnel Reporting Directional, Audible, and Sensory Phenomenon in Havana, Cuba." And this is by a bunch of PhDs: Randall L. Swanson, Stephen Hampton, Judith Green McKenzie, LiveScience.com, CBS News, U.S. Forces TV, and PopularMechanics.com. So I did real big girl research for this one.
Yeah. She read some stuff.
I read stuff. All right.
Peer-reviewed stuff.
Peer-reviewed. Yes. Some .orgs in there. Okay.
You rock that shit.
I did. So let's hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
All right. So the more I virtually teach, the more I feel the need for something that is kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest. You know, like a little snack to get me through the day, but also, you know, virtual teaching, I need the energy to keep going.
Yeah. Like a good snack in the middle of the day is like a benchmark to, like, you're like, okay, I just have to get to my snack. Not that I don't love teaching, but I get to my snack, and then I eat my snack, and I feel way better, and then I can finish the day feeling good.
Right. And I'm really glad because we have partnered up with a brand, a food product that helps us do this.
You may have heard of them.
You may have tasted them.
You may have heard us do an ad for them before.
And you may know that it's Build Bar.
Yes, it is Build Bar, the fantastic protein and collagen bar.
Oh, love collagen.
Love collagen, love protein. It makes your hair long, your nails grow, and your muscles grow. You can build your muscles with Build Bar.
Wow. Building your brain too, because it gives you the energy to keep going. It makes you feel confident because not only does it taste good, it's not like you're just eating crap, honestly. You're not just eating crap. Like, it tastes good and it makes you feel good. It has 16 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein.
A lot of protein. And it has all clean ingredients. It has no extra chemicals, no sugar. It's sweetened with dates and honey. It's just like a pure good food. Good for you, good for your brain, good for your body.
It's just good all around. It's just Build Bar. You know how they do.
It's fantastic. So if you want to try Build Bar like us, you can head to buildbar.com. That is BYLD bar.com and enter promo code NightClassy for 10% off your order.
Do it.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Miss Madden's class.
What did we say our Patreon sound like?
What the hell? What the hell, y'all? What the hell, y'all? Listen up. Okay, but for real, it's my turn to teach a lesson. We're starting today's lesson. can't even. Okay, we're starting today's lesson with a dramatic.
Oh my God, what?
A dramatic reading written and read by me. It's going to be so hard not to laugh.
I'm so excited.
Ooh, okay.
Can I drink my wine and do a spit take?
Yeah, please do. Somebody get this on film.
Alex,
Spit
like,
take it
no,
on
this
Alec.
is my office. Please don't.
Everything is white in here.
Yeah.
Like,
Not in the microphone.
okay, here we go. Suddenly, you're awake. Your tired eyes blink open leisurely, and they halfway absorb the familiar sight of your room. Luckily, your alarm has not yet rung. You start to slip back into sleep when suddenly your gut instincts alert you to something. Or is it someone? It's in your room with you. You squeeze your eyes and then blink them open. They ping pong clumsily around the room in search of this presence. The longer you look, the more weary you become. This person, this thing, it's ominous.
Ominous.
Omnimax.
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh.
Please laugh. It's funny.
I don't want to make you laugh. Also, all I can think of is, you know, that episode of The Office where Robert California tells Aaron, like, never start your sentence with suddenly I was awake.
That's exactly what I thought of when I wrote this. No, she said that I woke up and he was like, that's so boring or whatever he said. And so then she corrected it to suddenly I was awake. So I took advice from Robert California and that's how it started.
Nice.
Anyway, this person, this thing, it's ominous. I don't know why that's messing me up. Maybe it could be like the 3 glasses of wine I've had.
Omnimus.
Omnima. Anemone. A flash of red passes before your eyes, but fades even faster than it appears. There is indistinct giggling, crying, or perhaps it's an alien species altogether.
What is happening?
We'll find out.
Okay.
Your gut instincts give a hard no as the warning bells sound off urgently in your mind. You sleepily and clumsily command your body to get up, seeking a better sense for the present situation. But your limbs defy you.
Are you doing sleep paralysis that I already did?
It's not sleep paralysis. You did lucid dream.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, it's a sister episode.
Okay.
I was about to be like, we didn't do that.
Okay, thank God.
But yes, kind of. Yeah, your limbs defy you, as does your torso. You're locked horizontally in bed. Your arms refuse to prop you up, and you're left completely and totally defenseless as this unknown, doomful thing sets in, hunting you. Dread swiftly fills your stomach, bubbles through your esophagus, and bursts into your oral cavity and finally exits as a blood-curdling scream. Well, it would have been a blood-curdling scream if you were able to verbalize anything at all.
It just keeps going.
I took a lot of time
I could
searching
tell.
synonyms.
Okay.
You're silent. Consequently, your distress compounds. There's no option between fight or flight. It has simply and plainly hijacked your mental state. Your ambiguous tormentor squeezes your very existence from your body. All that remains is your mind, bearing full witness to your mystical demise as you plummet through blackness. Until you actually wake up, realize you're not dead, proceed to Google to find that what you actually experienced is real. It is scary. It's real scary. It's a sleep demon.
So this wasn't an episode on Hayley's creative writing workshop.
My creative writing advice is just search synonyms for blank for whatever words you're going to use and then just replace every single word that you have in what you write originally.
Well, I thought it was amazing. I think that your book should get a Pulitzer Prize.
Thank
already.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I felt really good about it. It
It was fantastic. And I'm guessing that this came from maybe something that really happened to you, some real inspiration.
Some real inspiration.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I have experienced sleep paralysis, which is what wet blankets may call a sleep demon. Some people call it sleep paralysis. Some call it, an incubus or a succubus.
That's when they have sex with you.
Yeah, they're like, you're going to learn. You're going to learn today.
Okay. Why is recording on a Tuesday so much more fun than recording on a Friday?
I'm like breaking the rules. I think that's what it is.
This is so fun.
But actually, that sleep paralysis and a sleep demon are partnered into one, because for a long time it was the folklore of the incubus or the succubus, and science has came in with a hot take that
if Joe Biden gets elected, he'll listen to scientists.
Oh God, scientists.
Oh God.
Also, I do love science, so we're gonna take.
This is sarcasm.
We're gonna do both sides. I'm gonna start with the tale of the sleep demon. So this has been around for like centuries across many, many cultures. Pretty much any culture you look into, they're gonna have the tale of the sleep demon. And that's just because it's sleep paralysis, which is a psychological thing that we'll get to later. But sleep demons, they're all over. There's the Alp of Teutonic in Germany. There's the Popo Bawa in Zanzibar.
I like that one.
Me too. I thought that was really cute. There's the Trauco of Chile. There's the Tintin of Ecuador. The Karabazan in Turkey, the Mara or Mare in Sweden, the Pori in Assam. Like, it's all over the place. People experiencing this like weird thing where they're sleeping, but they're like awake, and there's this thing that is after them, and it's very scary.
That is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
The other night, Alec, what did I have a nightmare about? It was a funny nightmare.
The guy from 90 Day Fiance.
Oh yeah, I had a dream that Big Ed from 90 Day Fiance was coming through my window naked, and I had to hit him with a baseball bat, but the baseball bat like broke in half, and he grabbed the other half of it, and then he came after me. It was really scary. Don't watch 90 Day Fiance.
Ew, Big Ed is the one with no neck.
No neck,
right?
yeah.
No neck, Big Ed.
Yeah,
right?
Pig Ed.
Pig Ed. Ew, that would be super scary.
Yeah, it was really scary. And then Alec was like, I woke Alec up to like help me fight him, and Alec was like, I couldn't wake him up. He was like half asleep, and he just stood there and watched.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
In
really
the dream.
nothing.
In the
In the
dream.
dream.
It's
Oh,
not real
okay. I
life.
thought you were like in real life trying to wake him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was scary.
So that may have been in some of these that I read about. I didn't want to go into like all the different versions of all the different cultures, because there's honestly just no time. But a lot of them, it described this incubus as a dwarf, a person who's a dwarf who like haunts them in their sleep. For some reason, that's like a common factor.
I mean, maybe it was Pig Ed.
You know what? I think it was.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think so too.
That's why he's so popular now with the memes and everything.
Yeah.
It's like he's like relatable to
And
everyone.
also, we're only body shaming him because he is a disgusting piece of shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Major gaslighter. He just has no self-awareness. And if he does, he completely ignores it. And he's just
The worst.
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google 90 Day Fiance Big Ed, and that's the face of a sleep demon.
Yeah.
Right.
For
so that
sure.
justifies us body shaming someone.
Okay, we're not body shaming him. We're just calling
We're
him
just
Pig
making
Ed.
fun of him for having no neck.
Yeah.
We're shaming the content of his character.
Yes.
Yeah, which is reflected in his
Yeah.
lack of neck.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But I've referred to the incubus several times. If you don't know, that is a male sleep demon, and his female counterpart is referred to as a succubus. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I'm like notorious for not doing phonics right.
No, you're good. As a preschool teacher.
Right.
You're doing phonics
Okay,
great.
thank you. Thank you. But these sleep demons, they visit people in their sleep. A lot of times they engage in sexual activities with the person who's sleeping. It is believed that they're the same demon and that this demon can switch sex to meet like heteronormative expectations for those that they haunt.
Out of all the things, demons care about heteronormative.
You know what? That would make sense that they would not adapt to the plethora of gender identities that exist.
Oh my God.
They'd be like, it's a girl. She wants the D.
We're so obsessed with like heteronormativity that like even demons care about.
Yeah. It's so bad that the demon is like the poster child for heteronormativity. Like,
kind of.
What does your incubus look like?
It has to be a boy or a girl.
Big muscles, very tall is my incubus. My succubus has large breasts, skinny waist. She's slim thick.
She's sultry and stupid.
Yes, very stupid. Almost no brain, just
She
enough
can't
to
do
function.
math. Yeah.
I read for her. But yeah, they just, a lot of these tales say that, if it's a female who's sleeping, then this sleep demon presents itself as a male and vice versa. Other tales claim that the incubus is just bisexual. That they can
All
be,
right, we're getting progressive.
They're like, we can be whatever you want to be for whoever you want to be. Incubi are thought to shapeshift though in some tales, but in others they claim to just possess a human corpse. So it's like this demon is like this.
Oh my God, like it's wearing a corpse body?
Exactly. Yeah, like the demon is this weird, like ambiguous thing that can't be felt, but it takes over a corpse for whatever the subject is to appeal to it. Because many times the incubus or the succubi, they are appealing physically to the person who's dreaming, but also they get scared. There's a wide range of experiences. It's like what entices you to begin with, because you're like, what's that? Oh shit. Oh God, it's a sleep demon. The experiences vary.
Okay,
So bear with
good
me.
to know. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't all get the red woman. Some of us get a night walker.
Some of you get a night walker. Some of you get Big Ed. Some of you get, I don't know what you get. You tell me. Write us at Night Classy.
Yeah. Tell us your sleep paralysis stories. We'd love to hear them just for fun. We probably won't read them on the air, but we'd like to hear them.
You tell me yours. I'll tell you mine. One of the earliest citations of a sleep demon dates back to 2400 BC in Mesopotamia, which
the Fertile Crescent.
Exactly. Yeah. They were like having all types of gardening and sex. Fertile.
Sleep demons.
Sleep demons. And you know what? Actually, some tales do speak of children being conceived by an incubus visit. Cop out for having a child out of wedlock?
Yeah, that
maybe.
Seems like a cover-up.
Wikipedia did say that women who were found pregnant in nunneries would be burned because they thought that an incubus had taken them over, since, they were nuns or training to be nuns. And if they were found pregnant, then obviously something was amiss. And clearly they were not having sex. So it must be a demon, and we must burn that.
Clearly the priests weren't. Okay,
Right.
I'm not gonna.
Ping.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'll say it. There's a long history.
But burn the woman.
Yeah, burn the women.
Good idea.
God damn it.
This is a controversial episode.
I know.
Like it.
Let me know what you all think. Now, here's one way to know if you've been visited by an incubus. One of its trademarks. One of its trademarks is a freakishly large and abnormally cold penis.
Has anyone out there been visited?
Like, not a normal amount of cold. Abnormally cold.
Oh my God. What if you like went out on like a date with someone and like it was really cold outside, but like you got home and you started getting it on and their penis was really cold, and instead of like you just thought it was a sleep demon because they listened to you and took your advice?
Then that's probably good. That's probably a fine thing to happen. If you want to take my advice, reality is a dream. Life is but a dream, right? We all learned that nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
If you or a loved one has been exposed to a strangely large and cold penis, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Okay. On to succubi, their female counterparts. Some tales believe that a female sleep demon doesn't even have to be physically present to fuck a man up. All she has to do is think about it and visit them in their dreams, and then they're scared shitless and in sleep paralysis, but we're not going to expose that detail yet.
I can't. I'm slow blinking right now. This all just seems like excuses for men being shitty. Oh, I have a cold penis. Maybe I'm a sleep demon. I had a wet dream. It must have been a succubus thinking about me.
Some darn female visited me with her mind.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate feeling powerless.
Gross.
So here's some ways to, at least according to the history of the past centuries, get rid of a sleep demon. The first way, very popular, is an exorcism. So get your stuff that you need for an exorcism. I don't really know. What do people get for exorcisms? Like a priest or something?
A priest, crosses, holy water.
Yeah,
Bible.
All of these, surprisingly to me anyway, just based off of how many cultures have folklore of sleep demons, all of these are like based in Christianity. So I thought that was interesting. But you could do an exorcism, and again, I'm not extremely well versed, so like maybe other cultures and religions other than Christianity do have exorcisms.
I feel like a lot of cultures probably have their own version, right? Like it just means to expel a spirit or a demon.
Yeah.
I guess.
So you can do that. You can expel it. You can do a sacramental confession. I'm not religious, so I can't really go into details about what that is.
Can you imagine? I mean, like, I don't want to like burn Catholics right now, but like, I just can't imagine like how scary going to a confession would be.
Yeah, just blindly.
As me, I can't imagine. Maybe it's kind of like therapy to some people. Like if you grow up with it, it's probably easier. But like imagining going to confession to me sounds terrifying.
And to me, the point of confession, like I go to therapy and I enjoy therapy. It makes my life better. But it's because I can talk through somebody that I have built a relationship with. And my goal is to be mentally well. I feel like the goal of confession is to get into heaven. And to me, that's
maybe
different.
It's also to feel mentally well. Like if there's like sins that are weighing on you.
I think you're right. I think there's that.
Yeah.
I think there's pressure from the church for you to go to confession to cleanse yourself, as if there's something dirty about you when you do something that is against what is acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably different for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's a personal thing to choose to go to confession, whatever your reasons are. But my point was it just sounded scary.
It does sound scary. And apparently that's one way to get rid of your sleep demons.
Yeah.
I did read one girl's post on Reddit that talked about how she had done exorcism. She had gone to confession. She had done all types of different religions. And like she was still extremely like just suffering hardcore from sleep paralysis, basically. But yeah, there's that. You can do the sign of the cross. So like the Father, Son, Holy Spirit type thing. One recommendation is also to just move the afflicted to a different location. So much like the microwaves in Kat's lesson, you just move. And then the last one is to excommunicate the sleep demon. To be like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Just ghost them.
I've heard also one thing I do, I don't get sleep paralysis very often. I've had it once or twice, but I've heard to like imagine yourself like in a shower of golden light when you're scared. and think there's a demon in your room, and that protects you. And that's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm about to get into like the science behind sleep paralysis. And I feel like that's a mixture of like the folklore and the reality. But one of the basic recommendations is just to remember that this is not reality and just stay calm and everything will be fine. Either you drift back into sleep or you'll regain your senses and be able to move and readjust as you need to. But yeah, anyway, as fun as folklore is, we all know that behind a strong folklore is an even stronger scientific explanation.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean, in this present moment, maybe not, but I feel like I really like science and I'm excited for the future, whether it's 10 years, 100 years, or 1,000 years, where there is a way that we can explain things we do not currently understand. But yeah, like I said before, this is a sister episode of Your Lesson, Kat, on lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I'm sorry I so aggressively butt in. I couldn't remember.
That would be something that I would do. It'd be like,
no, it wouldn't.
God, no, just completely forget that. Like, I was like, she did something like this, but that's not completely it.
I am looking forward to the point where we have so many episodes that we like don't remember what we did and not.
I know, we have to reference back. But as of right now, we're on 32. So we're going to keep chugging.
We're not quite there.
An estimated 6 to 8% of people will experience this in their lifetime. So I've experienced it. You said you've experienced it once or twice. Would you like to share your story if you remember it even?
My sleep paralysis is never like that dramatic. It's always just like I wake up and can't move my body for a few seconds, but it's not like there's a demon over me or something.
Yeah, that seems to be the general pattern, is that for some people it's not that big of a deal, but for some people it's extremely traumatic. I've experienced this one time. It was last fall, and I didn't like see anything because you can hallucinate because your brain is still sleeping. Like you're still dreaming when this happens partially, which we'll get to. But what happened to me was that I was dreaming and then I felt awake, but then it felt like something was pressing the air out of me, and I like abruptly woke up and I was out of breath. Like physically I was affected, and it was just scary. And that was that. But yeah, so as a refresher from your lesson, I want to cover the 5 different stages of sleep. And as I was doing this and relating it to sleep paralysis, I realized that the sleep stages are kind of like the stages of grief, but backwards. Okay. So the first stage would be accepting. You accept bedtime with gratitude. You're happy to be going to sleep. Second stage, depression. A steady downhill type of sleep in which chemicals are getting lit, making your brain, harder to wake up. I'm not trying to make light of depression.
Disclaimer.
Also, I'm sorry, but that's kind of like what your brain is doing at this point in sleep. And then stage number 3, bargaining. That's where you get to deep sleep. You bargain with God to never have to wake up and return to any part of reality that you don't like ever again.
Yeah.
Stage number 4, acceptance. You don't have to go to reality, but you can't stay here. That's the 4th stage of sleep. You're like, okay, can't stay here. I'm moving on. And that's where you get to stage number 5, which is REM sleep, denial and isolation. Basically, shit is going down and demons are taking over since you're extremely vulnerable. And so if you want to know more about REM sleep, I'll tell you. It's about 90 minutes into your sleep cycle. The brain is extremely active. That's what gives us our bizarre and emotional dreams. According to Johns Hopkins University, studies show that if you look at a brain scan of someone in REM sleep versus someone in waking life, they're pretty much indistinguishable. You can even look more active while you're in REM sleep than you can when you're awake, which that was like mind blowing to me.
That's
like
weird.
Your brain is fucking doing work while you're in REM sleep.
Doing way too much.
And that's it's doing way too much, such as
creating sleep demons.
Yes. Your brain hates you. And the body produces at this time a chemical or chemicals that suppress your ability to actually be able to move so that we don't act out these dreams, such as, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've wet the bed a couple of times because I bypassed my body telling me not to wet the bed. But like you have a dream about going to the toilet and then you wet yourself because you think you're on the toilet.
This was in like my old house. So like I was under 10 years old. And I was having a dream that I was eating McDonald's French fries in a convertible and it was going too fast. And the only way to make it stop was to pee. And then I peed the bed. And I still remember.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that would make me stop the car if I were driving the convertible.
Right?
That's so funny. You're eating McDonald's French fries.
Yeah. I remember what they looked like and everything.
Wow. Did they taste good?
Oh yeah, they tasted great. McDonald's French fries are not vegetarian and that's why they taste so good. And that's why I haven't had them in like years and years.
As a vegetarian, which fast food place has the best French fries?
Probably Jack in the Box because they have curly fries.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do they have Jack in the Box in Memphis?
No.
I didn't think so.
No. And there's nothing good at Jack in the Box is normally disgusting, but their curly fries are just really good.
I don't think I've ever been
Arby's.
there.
Arby's has curly fries.
I was just about to bring up Arby's.
And Arby's has mocha milkshakes.
Oh, okay.
Which are also really good.
That makes me think of like a Starbucks double chocolate chip frappuccino.
Okay, it's not bougie
It's
like
not
Starbucks. You can get curly fries and like a 32-ounce mocha milkshake.
Okay, I can get with that. I'm here for it. Anyway,
okay. Sorry.
No, that was good.
Okay.
So you're not actually eating French fries, but your body feels like you are. And when you're in sleep paralysis, it's like the mind is awake, but your body is still knocked out. So you're awake and you're aware that you can't move, but there's like nothing that you can do about it. So it's kind of like, I would think of it like a hijacking situation. Normally your brain is driving the car when you're awake, while your body sits shotgun. It's going to help you navigate, let you know when you need more gas or when you need to pass gas. But it's really just hanging out, doing its thing. It's set to its, circadian rhythm. But how the turntables, when you get into REM sleep, the body is driving the car. Everything is typically fine unless your consciousness wakes up. So when that happens, you start to freak out because your body is taking care of all the things. Like you're breathing. It's like a well-oiled machine, but in your waking life, you're used to breathing irregularly due to talking. Your emotions can affect your breathing, exercise. So when you're sleeping and everything is going well, you're like, what's going on? Everything is going well. Like you can't take back control from REM sleep and it's scary and you freak out. And also you can still be like, your feet are in the water of this dream state still. So that's where these hallucinations of sounds and sights of demons can come from. So if you're freaking out in real life, like if something is scaring you, your amygdala and your brain will step in. It'll take a look at the situation and tell you if you should freak out or not. But it can't do that when you're in REM sleep because it doesn't have enough information to analyze. And so things tend to just spiral, which creates this like sleep paralysis situation where you're like a prisoner in your own body.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going to have anything to say.
No, I was just taking it in.
I have two more quick points here. Several Reddit users noted that when they nap too much in the afternoon, they have noticed that they have more experiences with sleep demons. That's on the r/you should know about subreddit if you want to check it out yourself. But the speculation is that lights or sounds from the daytime could be interfering with your REM cycles, so pulling your consciousness out while your body is still trying to sleep. So to prevent this, you can use a face mask or block out light or use a white noise machine.
Yeah. When I sleep with a face mask and I set my alarm for either 30 minutes or an hour before I wake up so I can like take off my face mask and then go back to sleep because it puts you in a lighter state of sleep that's easier to wake up up from. And so I'm in REM sleep for like an hour every morning. And yeah, I get like lucid dreams and like just crazy fucking dreams.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now that I've gone through that tornado, I'm ready for my day.
Yeah, that's when I had that pig Ed dream.
You know, that makes sense. I have had some crazy dreams right before I wake up. I do something similar where I set my alarm for 15 or 30 minutes before, and then I turn on a light, and then I go back to sleep.
It's the same thing.
It's same thing. One way that you can either get out of or avoid sleep paralysis, not one way, I have a couple suggestions. You can use lucid dreaming to calm yourself while you're in sleep paralysis. So if you don't know about lucid dreaming, go back. We have an episode on it. Kat taught us. I'm honestly not sure what episode Alec is.
Okay. I think I was really drunk for that episode, so I don't know how good it is, but you can go listen to it. Lucid Speaking in Air Quotes, episode 20.
Perfect.
Again, I was drunk for that episode.
Is so crazy to me because when I refer back to episodes, I feel like it was just, 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But that was over 10 weeks ago, over 2 months. Oh my God.
It's a long time.
A little
It's
baby's
crazy.
growing up. Okay. But anyway, if you would like to learn more about lucid dreaming, you can check out episode 20. It's called Lucid Speaking and something else, but Kat teaches air quotes. Kat teaches a lesson on lucid dreaming. That's basically when you can realize while you're still sleeping that you're still sleeping and that what you're experiencing is a dream. People who can do this typically are able to just drift back into a peaceful sleep, which is super important for your health. So try to do that before trying to like burst out like physically and get out of the dream. The second recommendation is to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Go to bed at the same time every night. Don't drink, smoke, or get caffeinated before bed. Oops. And avoid sleeping on your back. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for any of that, but that's what I read. My sources are Wikipedia, Ancient Origins.net, PBS, and Refinery 29. And that is my lesson.
Very nice. Thank you, Hayley. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and recommend us to a friend. That's the best thing you could possibly do for us. Or maybe leave a good review, cancel out that bad review, visit our Patreon, possibly, and follow us on social media. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. And 3, 2, 1, class dismissed.